it's a bit hot here, to be honest with you. And I've just had a little disagreement with Storm, who decided that the garage was the coolest place to be and she wasn't shifting. So I'm now covered in scratches. Yes, I like to call them love bites.
I've got a couple of Macs.
Oh, well, there you go. We match. Evening, Lorraine. Evening, Alison. It is hot. Hi, Karen. I'll be round yours in a bit.
Oh, yes.
Yes, we've just been yes, having a look at your video. Oh, Tracy. Oh, well, I've just had a piece of cold quiche. I don't know if that counts. Wow, nice. Yeah, always, Karen. I'm sorry about if you hear a bit of a whir, I've got my fan on because it really is warm. And you know, ladies, when you get to a certain age, heat doesn't do it for you at all. Right, okay, so tonight you will be absolutely delighted to hear is the last part of the box of delights. Now, I'd kind of fallen out a bit of love with this. I don't know, it just wasn't doing it for me, to be honest with you. But when I've just got it out and I've just had a look through the whole project, I've actually decided that I do quite like it after all. So even though it's taken us a very long time to do, I think on the whole, you know, the whole project is just, you know, it works, doesn't it? We've got this beautiful big box, which feels like we did 10 years ago. And we've got these two inserts, and now we've got our big folio, and you can do any of them separately. You don't have to do, you know, all parts of it. So yeah, so I think tonight we will finish this off. Now, next week I'm not going to be here because my dad's got his second cataract operation on Thursday morning, so I'll be nipping over to play nurse, which I'm sure isn't very pleasant for Dad at all. Yeah, that'll be, so that's, there's not going to be a class next week, but the week after that, we will be starting, I hope, our next project, which is going to be a pop-up book. You've asked me for a pop-up book you will have. And if it carries on working the way that it should, it might be quite a nice little project. So we will see. I'm having to learn a lot because although I do know some pop-up stuff, I'm trying to, you know, expand my knowledge and learn a couple of other ones. So we'll see how that goes. Right, okay, so where are we? This is my folio so far. Now, I don't know if you can remember back, but when we talked about this folio, I said that for me, it was just a tad too... Yeah, I agree, Judith. The comments aren't showing. I can see that there are... It tells me how many comments there are, and then they're not there. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it must be. I think it's the heat, probably. So, yeah, I concur.
A few comments.
Yeah, there's a few, but not all of them. It says there's X number. It just said to me there was 3 extras, and there wasn't. They'll turn up. Right, so yeah, I did mention when I put this together that it could, even though I've used white card in space of photographs, so it wouldn't be any thicker if you're making it with photographs. It was just a tad too thick for the box. It's not, it fits, but you know, you could just do with a little bit of space. So I think the issue on this is that I had 2 of these big waterfalls. Okay, I think that's what the issue was. So if you're making this as a standalone project, then put both your waterfalls in by all means. But what I've done, which I'm going to be doing with mine, is we've done that waterfall. We've done this page, if you remember, with the pulley out flappy bit there. So what I want to do tonight is this large page here. This is the large back. I'm making a right mess of this. Is this large back page here, which has got a little pocket on the front, some cut aparts. It's got a big photo mat there, a flap, and a very big pocket here, and I seem to have mislaid the photo mat out of it, but that's what we're going to be doing tonight. And then on my current one, the one that I'm making to show you how to do it, I haven't put anything on here. So I don't have a second waterfall. So what I think I will do, or what I've done, is I have made a very quick and easy, simple pocket with one of these pockets on top that you can put some of your cutter parts in. So we'll do that as well, just to finish off. But it's very much mix and match. You can, you can do it however it works best for you, basically. So let me just grab my cutting guide. And I want to work on, first of all, that bigger inside page. So what I've got here, I've got those 2 pages, which is my front as I open it up. Then I've got this page, which was my my waterfall. And I've got this page, which we made last week with the insert, which I have absolutely zero idea where that is. I'm sure it will turn up. So what I want to work on next is this page here. Now this page is slightly wider than the other pages. Can you see it is slightly wider? That was a deliberate decision on my part. I called it a design feature, although it's not got any particular purpose to it, if that makes sense. Evening, Wendy. So what I'm going to do now is make that flap with the pockets that goes on there. And then finally, I'll make that extra pocket to go on there instead of that waterfall. So I hope that makes sense. So if you want to grab your trimmers.
I want to grab a ice cream.
Well, I think have we got ice creams? I don't know that we've got single ones. I think we've only got tubs of. Yeah, I'll tell you what you could have. How about a big glass with ice, because we've got ice, and mango and apple, and fizzy water. Does that sound nice?
Yeah.
Hint. Yeah,
but you'll better start cutting.
Oh, yeah, good point. Well, when I've cut them. Okay, right. So first of all, we're going to cut that flat piece, which is 8 by 10 inches. So we'll cut the flap at 8 by 10. That didn't look very straight.
Into the heat. Heat hands.
So 8 by 10 inches. And that's our big flap for the front. Then we're going to cut the pocket that goes on top of that flap. And that is 9 by 5 inches. Hi, Caroline. So this is 9 by 5 inches. And then we're going to cut a little pocket to go on top of that, which is what we put those little cutter parts in. And that is going to be 7.5 by 3.5 inches. So one at 7.5 by 3.5 inches. We might as well, while we're here, cut out the final part of this, which is the pocket that goes underneath the flap. And we're going to cut that at 10 by 6.5. Well, we would do if I could find some card. Hold on. Got about 6 books on the go here. Right, so what did I say? 10 by 6.5. So one at 10 by 6.5. Okay. So if you put your trimmer away and swap it for your scoreboard, we're going to start with that first one, which is the flap, which is 8 by 10 inches. And we're going to score on the 10-inch side. Don't worry, Wendy, it seems to be a common thing tonight. It's just the way Facebook is. It obviously doesn't like the heat. So we're going to score on the 10-inch side. So I've got my 10 inches at the top. And I'm going to score at 1/2 inch. And I'm going to score at 5/8 of an inch. So what I've got here is a tiny, tiny, tiny little gusset. That means that when we put the pocket underneath, it's going to not flap up too much because we've got that little bit of play with the gusset, okay? The next piece that we cut was the piece that goes, it's the pocket on the front of the flap, and that was 9 by 5 inches. And we are going to score on the 9-inch side at 1/2 inch and at 8.5 inches. Turn it around 90 degrees, so we're now scoring on the 5-inch side, and we're going to score at 1/2 inch. Okay. Then we've got our tiny pocket for the front. This was 7.5 by 3.5 inches. So we're going to score on the 7.5 inch side at 1/2 inch and at 7 inches. Turn that round, and we're going to score on the 3.5 inch side at 1/2 inch. Okay. The final piece, we're going to score on the 10-inch side. So this piece is 10 by 6.5 inches. And we're going to score on the 10-inch side at 1/2 inch and at 9.5 inches. And then we're going to turn around and score on the 6.5 inch side at 1/2 inch. Okay, easy. So let's start with our flap. And I'm going to fold on those score lines. Just grab my bone folder. So what I've got now is a flap that's got a little gusset here, so that when we put our big pocket underneath, it's not going to kind of flap up too much. It's going to have a little bit of give on it, okay? So what we need to do now is put that pocket onto the bottom of there. So taking this piece, which I think was 9 by 5, anybody care to tell me what we're going to do, since we're back in normal mode and I don't have anybody small here, or I don't have to watch my P's and Q's so much. I can tell you we're going to be doing a bit of kinky mitering. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off these squares here. So I'm going to snip up to where the score line intersects, change the angle of my very sticky scissors. Oh, they need cleaning. Let's get some more. And snip off so it's not straight across. It's got a bit of a kink in it. Okay? And that's the same on all 3 pockets. So I'm going to cut out this corner here, that little square in the corner. But I'm not going to miter it directly across. I'm going to cut a bit of a kink into it. Oh, this is sticky too. I'm going to have a mass unsticking of my scissors. Okay. Right. So once we've done that, what we're going to do is we're going to fold on these score lines. And then we'll burnish them. If you joined late, I apologise for the state of my wrists. It was not self-inflicted. Storm did not want to come out of the garage. I'm blaming her. Except she actually had the right idea because it's really cool in there. Right, okay, so I'm going to burnish. Oh, thank you, dear. You're lovely. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, lots of eyes. Oh, that's perfect. Thank you, dear. And then finally, this big one. Right, so if I grab my folio, I can start to glue things in. So I'm going to work on this very back page. Now, I don't know if you've realised with these folios that they fold all sorts of ways. So you can fold it and just work on one bit and it all works just fine. So I'm going to start off with the biggest pocket, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab my glue. I'm going to stick this big pocket down. So glue on my flaps, because sticky flaps are a must. There we go. And I'm going to place that at the very bottom of that larger page. And it's going to go exactly side to side, because these bits here at the side, those are my spines that attach the book together. So I don't want to be sticking anything on those. But that is going to fit exactly on the bottom of the page. So let's just stick that down. Okay, right, now, the flap, I'm going to take the bigger of the two flaps I've got left, which is kind of the middle-sized one. It's the one that we cut out first. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue that onto the bottom of my flap, furthest away from where this flap is, okay, and on the other side. So this is the front, and that just fits on there like that, okay? Now, this is going to fit on there like that, okay? That's going to be somewhere where we can put some little cutter parts. However, you need to decorate this before you glue that down, okay? I'm going to glue mine down because I'm not going to decorate mine up. I'm just going to, you know, it's just for show, just for showing you how to put it together. But you need to decorate that pocket before you do this bit. So when you've decorated up that pocket with your pattern paper, then you're going to place this little pocket right in the center like that and just glue it down, okay? So what you've got here, just grab these just as an example, you've got two pockets. So you've got a pocket that goes there and you've got a pocket there that you can put cutter parts or smaller bits and pieces in, okay? So now what we want to do is attach this flap to the very top of that page there like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some glue just on the back of that flap. Now be careful that you don't cover your gusset in glue, because otherwise there's no point in having a gusset. Okay, and we're going to put this at the very top of the page. Now, this is not as wide as the page, so you're going to have to kind of eyeball center it, okay? It's not as wide, but it will fit. You've got about 1/2 inch on either side. And not that I like to brag, but I have done this so that it all lines up. So your pockets all line up. I'm proud of that. I actually thought that through. So that was a design feature on my part. Okay. So I do want to cut out the photo mats with you, because the photo mat that fits in here is actually, it's not a straightforward, well, it is a straightforward photo mat. It's very easy, but it's not straightforward in that it's where is it? It's not straightforward in that I've got bits everywhere. It's like more like a booklet style. Okay, so we need to put that together as well. So we will now cut out the photo mat. So you can see here on mine, I covered this bit before I put that pocket on. Then I decorated that and I've put in just some of these cutter parts. Okay, so that's why we are decorating that back bit first. Otherwise, it's going to be a heck of a job. Okay, so we now need to cut out our photo mats. So let me grab my trimmer. And ideally some card, although I seem to be running out of it really fast. Hold on. We only seem to have little bits left. That will do. So I want you to cut one at 7.5 by 9. So one at 7.5 by 9. One at 8 by 9. One at 8.25 by 10.25. Now, if you're using A4 from the UK, that's already 8.25. So I want you to cut that down to 10.25. And then 3 at 5 1/8 by 7 1/8. The reason for the 8 is just so if you're putting a regular 7 by 5 inch photo on it, you're going to get a bit of a reveal. I'm just going to cut one, but you know, you can cut as many of these as you need. Okay, so if you put your trimmer to one side, grab your scoreboard. There is one of these pieces that we need to make a score on, and that was the piece that was 8 by 9 inches. Okay, so I want you to score on the 8-inch side. Let me just check. Yep. So that means you've got the 8 inches at the top. I want you to score at 1/2 inch. Okay. Then fold on that score line.
Yeah, just says hello, just quickly.
Hi, Bianca. I've lost my... There we go. I don't know how I can just lose things all the time.
I don't know.
No. So I'm just going to burnish on that end. You what?
It's a skill.
It is. Do you know what, Bianca? Right now, I could do with a Berliner Weisse and Erdbeer. That would be nice. Right, so I've put some glue onto that flap. I'm going to take the piece, which was, what was it, 8 by 9, 7.5 by 9. I'm going to put it up to where that score line is, because I'm going to fold that over and I'm going to glue that down. So what I've got now is like a booklet photo mat, okay? Dead simple. So that is going to fit into here like that, okay? I'm going to put some cutter parts in here, so I don't need to worry too much about that right now. And then inside here on my big pocket, I've got my very big photo mat that we've just cut. And then I've got these smaller photo mats as well. And you can put as many as you need to in there, okay? Oh, got wires everywhere. All right, so that is that big back page completed. Now, like I said earlier, you might want to make another waterfall to go on this page. But if, like me, you've made the box and everything else and you want just a little bit of extra give, then I would suggest that you do this bit. Now, I've got no photographs of this finish because I just kind of put it together as a just in case option, if you see what I mean. So it's not something that I've done in my original, but you'll get the hang of it. So all we're going to do is we're going to make a really simple basic pocket, and we're going to put one of those little pockets on the top like we did here. So basically the page is going to be like this, but bigger to fit that back page, okay? If that makes sense. So if you want to grab your trimmers, and this isn't going to take long, you'll be delighted to hear. So if you're sweltering, you can, you know, go and sweltering piece. And I want you to cut one at 8 by 6.5. So one at 8 by 6.5.
I just had a message off Jen. She's watching. She can't comment.
Oh, well, I can see Jen said I can't see anything either. But that was, I don't know, a while back, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what... It does keep doing this, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Right, okay, so this final little pocket is, let me have a look, 8 by 4 inches. Okay. So, if you grab your scoreboard, our big pocket, we're going to score. What did I say that was? 8 by 6.5.
Yes.
I'm absolutely not convinced that's right. No, it should be 9.
9 by 6.
Yeah, it should. Ignore that. It should be 9 by 6. I thought that was a bit small. It should be 9 by 6.5. So yeah, apologies. 9 by 6.5. I'll change that in the cutting guide. Ooh. So we're going to score on the 9-inch side at 1/2 inch. At 8.5 inches, turn it round and score on the 6.5 inch side at 1/2 inch. And then this little pocket, which was 8 by 4, we are going to score on the 8-inch side at 1/2 and 7.5 inches. And then on the 4-inch side at 1/2 inch. Okay. So, scissors. Let's get rid of these corners. A little bit of kinky mitering. There we go. Let's fold and burnish. I'm using 2 completely different thicknesses of cardstock here. Let's burnish. Now, once again, with this big pocket, before you put this little pocket on it, you're going to need to decorate it. So you need to put your pattern paper on this big pocket before you put this little pocket on. So, as I said, I'm not going to do that because this is just to show you how to put it together. So I'm just going to put some glue onto my flaps here, which is blocking up because of the heat. And this, you'll already have decorated this, but this is going to go in the middle like that. Okay. And then you can decorate that up, and you can put 6x4 photo mats in here. You could put 7x5 photo mats in there. You could put little cut apart photo mats in there. But this is going to fit on here at the bottom of this final page. So glue onto that there. Oh. And I'm going to pop this at the bottom of that page there like that. So that need some photo mats, but you can, I've put some suggested sizes on the cutting guide, so you can go off and cut those. But this folio, all right there, dear,
I'm holding that drink.
is now complete. So you can decorate up your front, make it all pretty. So that's the bit where we haven't got anything on there. Open it up, and you've got these flips here. I did have a mat to go in there. Goodness knows where that's gone. It'll turn up. I had a photo mat that went in there. Then we've got this flap that opens up. We've got a stack pocket. We've got that pocket on the back there, and that is symmetrical. Open it up, and we've got, well, possibly 3 different sized or different pocket types here. So we've got our, what do you call it, our waterfall. Here you've got the pocket that's got that pull out photo mat with the pocket on the front. I don't know where mine is. I hope I haven't cut it up for something else. Yeah. Then we've got this one that we did tonight, and then that little pocket there that we also did tonight. So once that's all decorated up, that is your large folio, which I think would be pretty good on its own, to be honest with you. I don't think you have to necessarily make the whole project. I think any of the bits would be just great on their own. So I'm going to go off and I'm going to change this cutting guide. That should be 9. And then that's it. So when you're all finished and decorated, do pop some pictures in the group for us all to look at, because that would be ace. As I said, we won't be here next week, but I will try and pop in sometime soon and show you our finished next project so that you can grab all your stuff together. And we will see you back here the week after, which I think is the 30th. Yeah, the 30th. So we'll see you back in here on the 30th of June. Brilliant. All right then, guys, thank you so much for bearing with us. I know this has been a mega long project. It has gone on and on, but just go back and take a look, because I think you'll probably find it might be worth the length, as they say. Right, okay, guys, take it easy. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you really soon. Bye.
Oh.